Hari Om, Sri Gurubhyo Namaha, Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. In the previous Adhyaya Atma Samyama Yoga, Bhagavan lovingly explained the process of meditation in detail. We have been guided to possess the Shatka Sampatti, Samadha, Tiksha, Uparama, etc. as a process towards purification of our heart towards liberation. Today we are going to know what is in the 7th Adhyaya, Vijnana Yoga, the knowledge of the Absolute, that which is experiential knowledge. Bhagavan further encourages us to understand the Absolute, who is divine intelligence. Jnana means knowledge, the scientific knowledge, while Vijnana means the highest of all knowledge, knowledge of the highest order, knowing and experiencing which there remains nothing else to be known further. Bhagavan says, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam. How do we know the divine? Only through steady concentration of mind upon the divine, seeking the divine alone, and practicing meditation can one know the absolute truth completely, without any trace of doubt, but not otherwise. The divine is the ultimate truth, divine intelligence, eternal, inexhaustible, beyond three modes of nature. That is, the divine is Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. What are the supreme powers of the divine, and how is the conditioned soul different from the liberated? Energy of the Lord is superior energy and his material energy is inferior energy. Living entity belongs to the superior nature of the Supreme Lord. The inferior energy is matter manifested in different elements. He is the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the powers of the powerful man. Unless a person is intelligent, he cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this Adhyaya, Bhagavan further explains the nature of his material energy, the influence of which the living entity is entangled in the cycles of birth and rebirth. Living entities like humans, demigods, animals, etc. are influenced by this illusionary energy, Maya. The Lord is the controller, and the ingredients of the material manifestation are separated energies of the Lord, whereas the liberated living entities are free from the influence of illusionary energy. He is the original cause of all causes, Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam. Bhagavan says, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and the ability in man. He is the original fragrance of the earth, the heat in the fire, the life of all that lives, and he is the penances of all ascetics, the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire, and the three states of being, goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by his energy. Bhagavan says, I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of this material nature. What is this material energy of the Lord? This material energy, Maya, is the Apara Prakriti. The living entities belong to the superior nature of the Supreme Lord. The inferior energy is matter manifested in different elements, namely the earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. For example, there is an earthen pot with water in it. In that, we see the reflection of the sun. Here, the pot represents the body, water our mind, and the reflected sun represents the living entity, and the sun is the divine. Hence, the pot, water are Apara Prakriti. The reflected sun is the Para Prakriti, and that which is real, the truth, different from these, is the sun, is Purusha, God. Bhagavan says, this divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. What is the barrier that the living entity unable to experience the divine? What is the solution? The inferior energy is matter manifested in different elements, of which the gross being the earth, water, fire, air, ether, and subtle being the mind, false ego, and intelligence. When exploiting the gross and subtle inferior energy, the matter, the living entity forgets his real spiritual mind and intelligence. This forgetfulness is due to the influence of matter upon the living entity. The false ego, under the influence of material illusion, thinks, I am matter and material acquisitions are mine. But when the living entity becomes free from the influence of the illusory material energy, he attains the stage called mukti or liberation. Both the material and spiritual natures, being emanations from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are eternal. The living entities belong to the eternal superior nature of the Lord, but due to the contaminations by the inferior nature, matter, their illusion is also eternal. Therefore, it is through selfless service, devotion, and complete surrenderance to the Lord, who is beyond the three modes of nature, can we know Him and experience Him. If it is through complete surrenderance to the Lord that we know Him, who are those who don't and who are those who resort and pray? Bhagavan says, Dushkrutinaha, Moodhaha, Apahrutagnyanaha, Asuraswabhavaha. These miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. The four kinds of pious men render devotional service unto me are the Arthaha, Jignasaha, Attadhi, and Jnani, that is, the distressed, the inquisitive, the desires of wealth, and he who is in search for the knowledge of the Absolute. Among these, the Jnani is the ideal, because he who is situated in pure knowledge of transcendence of the Supreme Personality of God is so protected in devotional service that the material contaminations cannot touch him. What should a Jnani be cautious about? Jnani is one who sees the divine presence in all the creation. He is in constant contemplation of the divine, and such a Jnani is very rare to find. It is only after many births of righteous efforts finally he is blessed with such knowledge. The illusory energy is manifested in dualities of desire and hate. These desire and hate, acquired through many births as samskara, tend the living entity to pray the demigods to fulfill their desires, and for a Jnani, this might move him away from the path of knowledge of the divine. So the Jnani should be cautious to not entertain any desire or hatred. Who are demigods? How are they different from the divine? Having understood the divine as the supreme energy, the demigods are part and parcel of the Lord, who have material body, Panchabhautik, and have temporary existence. They manage the universe under the will of the Supreme and are bound by laws of karma. Demigods are living entities with great punya and are empowered administrators of the universal affairs. They are the ones who supply our requirements of air, light, water, etc. for our maintenance. Whereas the Lord is the source of all of the demigods. The Supreme has a spiritual body, the Satchit Ananda Swarupa, and has eternal existence. And He is the master of the universe and demigods. He is beyond the laws of karma. By worshipping the demigods, the benefits achieved are limited, temporary, and are materialistic in nature. They create bondage of punya karma, and at the death they reach the Devaloka. Actually, the fact is, actual benedictions are coming from the Supreme through demigods. But the benefits of worshipping the Supreme frees us from bondage of karma, unlimited spiritual benefits which ultimately lead us to the divine spiritual abode. How do we stay on the path to experience the divine? A pure devotee never goes to demigod for satisfaction of his material needs. He depends on the Supreme Lord and is satisfied with whatever he gives. Bhagavan says, the divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Further, Bhagavan explains that those who know me as the Supreme Lord, as the governing principle of the material manifestation, who know me as the one underlying all the demigods and as the one sustaining all sacrifices, can, with steadfast mind, understand and know me even at the time of death. Therefore, to be able to see the divine presence behind the material objects, to see the eternal attributes behind the temporary, to see the formless behind these forms, is having the divine vision, which help one to experience the divine. Sai Ram, Hari Om, Punarmilamaha.